Welcome to the video, and today we're going to be talking about how you can become a landlord and enjoy those sweet passive high yield returns without outlaying a ton of capital. Yes, from just $20 you can become a landlord without any of the stress thanks to Ark7, and that's who I'm looking at today. Ark7 is a company that allows you to invest fractionally in rental properties that are managed from as little as $20. That means you can literally become a landlord without having to do any of the hard work that's associated with it. You don't have to find the property, you don't have to renovate the property, you don't have to manage the property. You literally can invest just from $20 and get your rental return every single month. The aim of Ark7 was to try and create a super simple way for anyone, the widest audience possible, to be able to invest in real estate without the major need for huge amounts of capital, because that just isn't accessible to all of us, myself included. But it's not just about the capital, it's about all of the effort and all of the work that goes into, like I said, finding and even managing it. It's a lot of work. Now, Ark7 is based in the United States, so all you US people, you can all use this. For people outside of the US, it's not possible to use this platform, but they're currently in over 6 states and have over 31,000 users and over 16 million in rental property assets, which is pretty impressive. You've followed this channel before, you know I really like these sorts of platforms. They're like my bread and butter because I just think they're a great way to get into the property market without, like I said, all of the overheads and all of the stress and everything needed. You get someone to do that for you. Obviously you pay the fee for that, but it just makes it that much more accessible, and I love that. And some of the key benefits of Ark7 are ease of use, super easy to use. Minimum investment is only $20, so you can start investing from as little as $20, which is, for me, that huge bonus to mean that everyone's like, well, I can't quite afford it yet. I can't quite afford to do this. But from $20, everyone can start putting in $20 a month to start building up their future generational wealth. The biggest hurdle I see to stop people investing is the barrier to entry. And these platforms allowing and removing that barrier to entry, allowing everyone to be able to do it, I think is one of the key parts that I love the most. Because when I started investing, and which was only just over a year ago when I started this channel, I didn't have the capital to put in huge amounts. So platforms like this, and obviously you know I love Stake and other platforms like that, removing that barrier to entry just makes that so much more accessible for me to be able to start investing in the likes of real estate, which is just a huge win for me. They also have monthly distributed dividends, which is the rental dividends, in the same way they do with Stake. They also have a secondary market available as well, which, as you know, allows you to be able to liquidate your positions in investments should you need your money back. But I will always say that these should be seen as longer term investments. You don't want to be investing 20 today with the requirement to remove that next month. It just doesn't make any sense. However, everyone knows that you may sometimes need that, so a secondary market available is a big plus. Also, they don't just have a website and your web platform, they also have an app, which for me is a big plus. I do love things that have both an app and the web app at the same time. I just think it makes it much easier to manage, and again, they're so easy to use. We will jump into the whole platform and I'll give you a run through of that, what it looks like, how to invest in properties, how you can look at your portfolio, etc. But first, let's focus on a couple of other parts about Ark7. I must also caveat at this point that this is not financial advice. I just do this because I really enjoy to find platforms that help people invest in multiple different alternative investments and lower that barrier to entry. Every investment has risk. It doesn't matter if it's stock market, property, wine, anything that you might invest in has a risk, and do your own research at the same time. Now, one of the reasons I really love what Ark7 do is because they focus massively on the properties that they use. So For them, it's all about the location, the returns, and the property condition. They really dig into the details of the location itself. So they make sure that there are strong fundamentals when they're looking at acquiring a property. This is really key when you're looking at the longevity of your property. You want there to be strong fundamentals in the area because you want there to be obviously a strong rental demand, decent rental price, and you want to try and mitigate the risk for any chance of a depreciating property, anything like that. So these are key parts, which is really impressive that these guys go into that level of detail when they're looking at acquiring a property in the first place. The level of detail that Ark7 go to when they're assessing a property and a location is truly quite impressive. I'm going to run through the different steps that they do before acquiring a property and the different quantitative things that they look at, as well as the other environmental factors to that location. Firstly, they start with looking at the entire inventory of what's available on the market. They then rule out all the different locations that are not the higher yield areas or growth populations. They look at the population growth as well. You don't want to be in a population decline for obvious reasons because of that rental demand. Once they've ruled those out, they start to analyze the ones with the best layout, because the layout for them is important when it comes to who's going to rent it and what that looks like. Then when they've broken that down, they go into even more detail. They do on-site visits, they look at the community. So it's not just about the property itself, it's about the whole market around it, the whole area, the whole community. Because again, that is important for the longevity of the property. Once they're happy they've found a property that meets all of those needs, they then go through all the different inspections, all the different permits, everything like that, the potential they need to do to be able to make sure that they have the right property and they can do the right things with it. And like I said, the quantitative factors they look into are the different rental yields around the area and also the appreciation growth of the area too. The other factors they look at in terms of the location are population growth, job growth rate, economic diversity, safety, and all of the different amenities that are in the area that would attract renters to that area. Again, this is truly impressive at the level of detail that they go into to make sure that they have the right quality properties to offer us as investors. I think these are the things that we would have to do if we were looking for those properties. Yet we don't have to, because they do all of this work for you, which for me is one of those true benefits of these platforms, because there's a hell of a lot of work that goes into that to make it even possible. So removing all of that need just becomes that much more accessible to me and you as an investor, which is huge. You can see on the screen here, they've got their, what they call their 7-step deal sourcing funnel. And you can see that from over 5,000, nearly 5,500 of the market inventory, which is the number of properties that they look at initially, it goes down to just 16 on-site visits and then one acquired. So nearly 5,500 down to one acquired. That's the level of work that they go to acquire the right properties for everyone else to invest in. The Ark7 team will then make sure that any improvements needed to the property are done, and then the properties are rented out and managed by Ark7 themselves. Another step that is not done by you or I. I had an apartment that I rented out, and managing that myself, because there weren't any agents in the area that would do it, was I don't know how to put this politely, it was a pain. Like, it was, honestly, it was something that if you're trying to do that full time, it will take you full time. It's a lot of work. So negating the need for that. Now let's jump onto the computer and have a run through of the Ark7 platform, so you can see the process from signing up, which is super easy. If you're a US citizen, you need your ID, social security number, and everything for the KYC, and that's pretty much it. You're in, you can start investing. Link up your bank account, job done, invest from $20. If you're interested in doing this, by the way, check out my link in the description on the screen now, realtalk.business/Ark7, and you can get $20 off your first investment if you invest over $200. So if you basically, it's 10% off. So a 10% off deal, if you go to $200 investment, you will get $20 off that just by using my link in the description. Why? I mean, why wouldn't do that? Right, now let's hop onto the computer and I'll take you through the entire platform, what it looks like, and how you can invest today. So you can see when logging into Ark7, you have the breakdown of your profile, the total value, but it also shows you when you last receive your dividends and the value of them too.
You get to see how your portfolio has grown over time, and when you look at the portfolio, you get a whole breakdown of the share certificates, the different properties you have there. Literally everything is available and broken down to you very simply, which is really nice to see. It's something that just gives you that level of transparency. I really like that. Here are the properties that you can invest in. Well, first you just need to add your funds. You choose your linked bank account, your amount, and then simply you've deposited your account. Super easy. And then we go back and look at what our buying power is. We've got $100 there now. We can pick a property. So these are all the hand-selected properties that I mentioned that are managed by Ark7 themselves. You can see the previous properties as well, everything that has been sold, but these are the ones that are on offer now. There's a special offer on this one. Minimum 5.15 return, gives you a full breakdown around the distributed return, how money gets back to you on your investment, which is pretty cool. I like that. Gives you the whole, just like Zillow, you know, it tells you everything about this property, everything you would need to know, the whole area, every bit of research they've done, as I mentioned before, is shown in here, including the rental status, the historic occupancy, which again is key for long-term rentals. It helps you understand the distributed returns, so what is coming back to you, what that looks like in terms of money, and importantly, the appreciation of the property and historic markets, all of which I think gives you the real sense of exactly what the offering looks like, what they've spent money on, what the fees were. Again, this is transparency at its best, you know, understanding exactly where the money's gone and exactly what the operating statement is, so where the money is coming out. And this gives you that confidence that when you're investing, and again, it's as simple as this: buy one share, that's $20 for that one share, and that's it. You've literally bought your first bit of real estate. This is why I love Ark7. They're very, very transparent, very easy to understand. It's just an absolute breeze to be able to purchase shares in properties just like that. You may as well be window shopping on Zillow like that. Find one you like, buy a share in a property. It couldn't be more simple than using Ark7. Like, I don't know a more simple platform, to be honest. Like in the space of 1 minute, you've invested in 2 properties, which is just bonkers. And here you can see the full breakdown of it, right? Perfection right there.
I hope you enjoyed the video on Ark7. I think they're building something really great and they're going to expand to the entire US. I can see this. They're one of these platforms that are really driving to make these things accessible for you. Like I said, if you're interested in signing up or exploring Ark7, you can use my link in the description, realtalk.business/Ark7, and you will get $20 off if you invest $200 today for free. Bonus. Let me know of your experience with Ark7, any questions you might have. I love to build relationships with these companies, so I speak with them quite a lot to understand where they're going, what they're building, and I will obviously share that with you as we go. I'd love to also bring one of their team in so we can have a full-on Ask Me Anything sort of questions, and I'll bring that to the channel as well because I think that's valuable to you guys to see the workings of the company as well. Let me know any other types of platforms you find in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe, share this with your nan, otherwise I will see you on the next one. Peace.